Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see configure and manage secrets in Azure Key Vault. So this will be a detailed video of configuring and managing secrets in Azure Key Vault. So what does the Key Vault do? So storing and handling secrets, encryption keys and certificates directly is very risky, and every usage introduces the possibility of unintentional data exposure. Azure Key Vault provides a secure storage for managing all the app secrets so that we can properly encrypt our data in transit or while it's being stored. So what would be the objectives? Let me quickly pull up a notepad and tell you guys what would be the objective of this session. So let me drag it here. Okay. What we'll do, so we'll use the proper usage of Azure Key Vault, that is AKV, and we would manage the access to an Azure Key Vault. Okay, we will explore certificates management in, excuse me for the spelling for Key Vault, and we will configure a HSM, that is hardware security module key generation solution. So configure HSM hardware security module key generation solution. Okay, so let me quickly start it. So let's say there is a company which delivers food, that provides us door-to-door services or store-to-door service for all of their customers, right? So they take online orders as well. They store credit cards and personal details in their SQL database. So remember that when you get an option to store your credit card for faster checkout, so it means that they are storing an information, a piece of information, a credit card number in their SQL database or whatever. Let's suppose for this video, we'll say that, okay, they are storing in a SQL database and have a secure website running on Azure App Service to interact with the customers. They have been in business a little over a year, and one of the admins noticed that their website certificate for the domain name, let's say asacloudchef.com, is expired. So as an admin, I quickly renew the certificate and get it installed on the server. And now I begin to explore ways to ensure that this problem never happens again. So I should be intimidated. I should get a notification well in advance that my certificate is going to expire. The investigation reveals that the Azure Key Vault supports certificate management as well. So Azure Key Vault supports certificate management also. All right. And Azure Key Vault can communicate with App Service to provide the certification and renew it automatically. So Azure Key Vault helps safeguard certificate keys, cryptographic key secrets that cloud application and services use. Key Vault streamlines the key management process and enables you to maintain control of keys that would access and encrypt the data. The developers can create keys for development and testing in minutes and then migrate them to production keys. Security administrator can grant and revoke permission to keys if needed. Right. So what would be the guidelines for using Key Vault? So if I do this, so what are the guidelines for using, or best practices you may? AKV as in Azure Key Vault. So as we all know, Azure Key Vault is a centralized cloud service for storing application secrets such as encrypting keys, certificates, and server-side tokens. Key Vault helps control the application secret by keeping them in a single central location and providing secure access, permissions control, and access logging. Okay, so what are vaults? So we use Azure Key Vault to create multiple secure containers, which are called vaults. Vaults will help reduce the chances of accidental loss of security information by centralizing application secret storage. Organizations will have several key vaults, Each key vault is a collection of cryptographic keys and cryptographically protected data, which are called secrets, managed by one or more responsible individuals within the organization. These key vaults represent the logical groups of keys and secrets for the organization, those that we want to manage together. So they are like folders in the file system. We can create and manage vaults using command line tools such as Azure PowerShell or the Azure CLI, or using the REST API or through Azure portal. We will see how to create those. And then what are keys? Keys are the central actor in the Azure Key Vault services. A given key in a key vault is a cryptographic asset destined for a particular use, such as asymmetric master key of Microsoft Azure RMS, or the asymmetric keys used for SQL Server, transfer data encryption, column level encryption, and encrypted backup. Microsoft and the other apps don't have access to the stored keys directly once a key is created or added to a key vault. So application must use the keys by calling cryptography methods on the key vault service. The key vault service performs the requested operation within its hardened boundary. The application never has direct access to the keys. Keys can be single instanced, only one key exists, or be versioned. In the version case, a key is an object with a primary key and a collection of one or more secondary keys created when keys are rolled or renewed. Key vault supports asymmetric keys, and the applications may use these for encryption or digital signatures. And there are two variations on keys in key vault. So two variations. One is hardware protected keys, right? Another is software protected keys. So what are hardware protected keys? The Key Vault service supports using hardware security modules that provide a hardened, tamper-resistant environment for cryptographic processing and key generation. Azure has dedicated HSMS validator to FIPS, and the Key Vault uses to generate or store keys. So we can import the keys from our own hardware security modules and transfer them to Key Vault without leaving the HSM boundary. And we can also use these Azure HSMS directly through the Microsoft Azure dedicated hardware security modules if you need to migrate HSM protected apps or maintain a high security compliance requirement. And what are software protected keys? Key Vault can also generate and protect keys using software based RSA and ECC algorithms. In general, software protected keys offer most of the features as HSM except FIPS 102 level 2 assurance. And the primary difference between the software protected key is when cryptographic operations are performed. They are done in software using Azure Compute Services, while for HSM protected keys, the cryptographic operations are performed within the HSM. For production use, it's recommended to use HSM protected keys and use software protected keys only on the test or development scenarios. We can determine the key generation type when we create the key using the PowerShell command. And what are secrets? So we have key vaults, then we have keys, and then we have secrets. Secrets are small, less than 10K data blobs protected by HSM generated key created within the key vault. Secrets exist to simplify the process of persisting sensitive settings that almost every application has, like the storage account keys, PFX files, SQL connection strings, and data encryption keys. So what would be your Key Vault uses as after the discussion that we had? So they are used for secret management, they are used for key management, they are used for certificate management. Then there are some best practices. For using Azure Key Vault. So the best practices grant access to users, groups, and applications at a specific scope. So we always use RBAC predefined roles to grant the access to a user to manage key vaults. You would assign the predefined role key, contributor role, whatever role you want to give to particular user. The scope would be the subscription. So you have to take care of the scope on which you are assigning user a permission to manage the key vault or the keys or the secrets. Then control what users have access to. So access to a key vault is controlled through two separate interfaces. One is management plane and one is data plane. The management plane and data plane access controls work independently. We use RBAC to control what users have access to. For example, if you want to grant an application the right to use the keys in a key vault, you only need to grant data plane access permissions using key vault access policies. You will not give access to an application to management to manage that key vault, right? And you should always store certificates in your key vault. So Azure Resource Manager can securely deploy certificates stored in key vault to Azure VMs. When the VMs are deployed, by setting appropriate access policies for the key vault, you also control who gets access to your certificate. Another benefit is that you manage all your certificate in one place. Now you ensure that you can recover a deletion of key vaults or key vault objects. So deletion of key vaults or key vault objects can be either indifferent or malicious. Enable the soft delete. So there is a soft delete feature and the purge protection feature of key vault, particularly for keys that are used to encrypt data at rest. Deletion of these keys is equivalent to data loss. So you can recover deleted vaults and vault objects if needed. Now, we'll see how to manage the access to secret certificates and keys. So, key vaults has two facts of management of the key vault itself. So, these two areas are separated because the creation of the key vault management operation is a different role than storing and retrieving a secret stored in the key vault. So, I, as an admin, can create a key vault. I can give another admin access to store their secrets, keys, or certificate, or do any one of these in the key vault. So one is authentication, right? Authentication. Azure Key Vault uses Azure AD to authenticate users and apps that try to access the vault. Authentication is always performed by associating the Azure AD tenant of the subscription that the key vault is part of. Now, another is authorization. One is authorization as a management operations like creating a new Azure Key Vault use RBAC. So there is a built-in role which is called Key Vault Contributor that provides access to management features of the key vaults, but it would not allow access to the key vault data. This is the recommended role to use. There is also a contributor role that includes full administration rights, including the ability to grant access to the data plane. So reading and writing data in the key vault uses a separate key vault access policy. A key vault access policy is a permission set assigned to a user or management or managed identity to read, write, or delete secrets and keys. So we can do that, create that access policy using the CLI or REST API or portal. I'll show you how to do that. And the system has a list of predefined management options that define the permissions allowed for this policy. And we can also restrict network access. Services in your network can access the vault. So in most cases, the network endpoints don't need to be open to the internet. We should determine the minimum network access required from specific Azure VNets, specific IP addresses, or trusted Microsoft services like SQL App Service. Right, so now I'll show you how to store the secrets in the Azure Key Vault. Right, so I will log on to the portal and take it from there. On to the portal, I'm going to change my directory. So you see this Microsoft Learn Sandbox. This gets created when you activate your Sandbox subscription so that you can do your labs and testing. This Microsoft gives you, and I've tried only once a day. You can try after a few hours if you get multiple Sandbox activations to do your labs in a single day, right? So now whenever I'll create a resource, I'll use this subscription, Microsoft Sandbox. So I'm going to click on create a resource and search. I will do Key Vault. Microsoft Key Vault, click on create. See here, concise subscription. This is because I'm using Sandbox, Microsoft Sandbox, right? So under resource group, I'm going to select this name, which is already created for me when I activated Sandbox. Key vault name, give the globally unique name of the new key vault, right? Give the location as region and pricing tier, standard, days to delete. You can say 7 for this. Disable purge protection, enable purge protection, enforce a mandatory retention period for deleted calls. Remember, I told you that you should always enable purge protection. Next is access policy. Let's go with the default what I'm seeing as of now for my ID, right? Let's enable it for the public endpoints as of now. Tags, I don't want it. Create, review. Let it run the validation. And now you click on create. So it's initializing the deployment for the key vault. It's submitting the deployment. Let me click on it. Deployment is in progress. My deployment is complete. I'm going to click on go to resource. Right now I will add secrets. So now click on secrets. Now you click on generate and import button. Right, so upload options is manual. Name, you can give any name here. And the secret, you can type in any value. Right, you can click here to show the secret. I'm enter the same thing. Content type is optional. You can type in text. Set activation date, set expiration date. No, enabled is yes. Click on create. That is how you create. Now if you want to show the secret, now you have to verify that the secret value has been set. Now you select your secret that you have created. It is the current version. Click on it. And if you would click on show secret value, you see here, right? And another ways to consume the secret is you can create and retrieve secrets from the Azure Key Vault as long as you are authenticated with Azure AD using the REST API, native SDKs, Azure CLI or Azure PowerShell. So if you launch Azure PowerShell here, right? So let me type in get AZ Key Vault. This is the one that I created, and this is the values that are here. So you get this, right? So now if you write get AZ Key Vault secret, vault name is just Azure Key Vault. Name is the location that the secret that you want to go is. Hidden location. Let me see what it does. Right. Just as a key vault name is this, name I got this is the version, and this is the time. So you see the same thing that you are seeing here. So from the portal it gives you the same thing, and from the command line if you want to pull that information you can do it like this. Now if you want to manage the certificates, Now, securely managing certificate is a challenge for every organization. So we must ensure that the private key is kept safe, and certificates have an expiration date and have to be renewed periodically to ensure website traffic is secure. So adding certificates to the Key Vault. So Azure Key Vault manages X509 based certificates that can come from several sources. First, you can create self-sent certificates directly in the Azure portal. This process would create a public-private key pair and signs the certificate with its own key. These certificates can be used for testing and development. Second, we can create the certificate using CSR. This creates a certificate signing request. This would create a public-private key pair in a Key Vault along with the CSR. You can pass over to your cert CA, and the signed certificate can be merged with the held key pair to finalize the certificate in the Key Vault. Right. So let's say your application is creating a certificate which internally begins by creating a key in the Key Vault. Key Vault returns the CSR to the application. Your application passes the CSR to the internal CA or the public CA. Then it replies with the certificate based on that CR. Then your application would complete the new certificate creation. Now let's say you are storing certificates in the Key Vault, so you can go into the certificate section under settings, and you can generate or import a certificate. You can add a certificate name here. So type of certificate authority, it's a self-signed certificate. Subject, you can do a subject here. One month. It can be in the PEM or a PKCS format. Automatically renew at a given percentage lifetime. Automatically renew at a given number of days before expiry. Email all contacts at a given percentage lifetime. Email all contacts at a number of days before expiry. So I can set it up to send an email to me or to the number of people of contacts, so that my certificates, I get a notification before it gets expired. Learn in this, like once you have a Key Vault, you can start using it to store the keys and secrets. Your application will no longer need to persist this confidential data, but can request them from the vault as needed. A Key Vault allows you to update keys and secrets without affecting the behavior of the application, which opens up a breadth of possibilities, right? So we can create a segmentation of security roles. No one person has the access to everything under Azure Key Vault. The single Key Vault that you create, right? The service is monitored and the access is logged. We can avoid human mistakes. We can enable soft delete, purge deletion as well, accidental deletion as well. Azure Key Vault Cloud Service are available, accessible and distributed to ensure high reliability of the sources, right? So I hope this lengthy video, it was useful for you, right? So I will connect with you in the next videos, and if you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.